Hey guys, it's Melanie. So today is, the day that I'm recording this is actually Friday, October 27th. This is my microblading what the experience was like video. So I'm only mentioning the date because I just had this procedure done yesterday. So I had it done on the 26th of October, and I went with someone that is in my area that I actually found through Instagram, and I really liked her work and actually kind of started communicating with this girl about 3 months ago. I knew that for my birthday this year that I wanted to get my brows done because, as you guys have seen if you follow me on Instagram, my natural brows were, it's not that they were non-existent, but they were extremely thin and very sparse. And they definitely, I had to do them every single day because I just didn't feel comfortable without having some sort of brow product on my face. I have an extremely round face, and not having very defined brows, I feel like almost accentuated the roundness and size of my face. Growing up, my nickname was actually Melon Head because my gourd is pretty large. I mean, I think it's fairly proportionate to my body, but I think because I had a really round face that nickname just stuck from a very early age. So I've always been very self-conscious about the roundness of my face, and I think that not having brows on my face sort of accentuated that basketball round look that I had going. So brows are something that I needed to color in every single day on my face, and that was exhausting because it's a time-consuming process. My brows are also naturally kind of different, like one sits up a little bit higher, so I was always having to try to even them out. They looked different almost every single day because I was never able to get down exactly how to do them. So anyway, it was a hassle. That's just what it was. I was really hesitant to honestly get the microblading done because I do have very oily skin, so I don't know how this is going to last on my skin. I will definitely be updating you guys over the coming months, and I'm sure you'll be able to see on my videos how it fades, what it looks like. I do expect to probably have to at least use a little bit of powder, especially towards the end of maybe the 10, 11, 12 month mark when it comes time for my touch-up. She did say that, because of my oily skin, it probably wouldn't last quite as long, and that I would probably require yearly touch-ups. I am okay with that. It is something that if this really becomes a huge convenience thing for me every single day, that I'm willing to save up for. So, it might be that my annual October tradition is to go get my brows microbladed, which like I said, if it sticks and if it looks good after it's completely healed, I'm more than happy to do that. I will, if something works, I always say this, if something works or if I really like it, I am willing to spend the money on it. So, it might be that I don't buy quite as much makeup to save up the money that I need. If you're gonna ask about pricing, mine was in the $500 price range, not including tip, so keep that in mind. The procedure took, it's a medical procedure, the microblading took just under 2 hours. The longest part was her measuring everything out. So if you've seen other microblading videos, I'm telling you all the same stuff. She measured everything out with this protractor looking thing, drew the brows on, had me look in the mirror several times. We made adjustments, and then she filled them in completely with just some pencil. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, yes. This is the shape that I envisioned for myself. Immediately when I saw it, I went, yes, this is exactly what I want. Just, if you can keep it within these lines, which is something that you have to keep in mind. When they draw it on, they use kind of a thicker brow pencil, and they do the microblading within those lines, if that makes sense. So she did put a little bit of numbing cream on me when I first arrived and was doing all of my paperwork. But I will say that while I didn't feel anything for the first pass, I started to feel, I don't even want to call it pain. I have seen some videos where people are like, it's the most painful thing I've ever done. Now, admittedly, I already have some tattoos, so I know what it feels like to get a tattoo. This was not as painful as a tattoo. Also, pain is very relative. I've had a child, and you guys that have been with me for a while know that I also had a tummy tuck and a breast reduction after I gave birth to my daughter. So pain to me is, I've experienced real pain. This was not painful. This was irritating. People talk about the sound that the little needles make when they go through your brows. Yes, it's cringeworthy. It doesn't sound great, and it's irritating. And my eyes did water. I went in without, you know, any eye makeup because I knew she was just gonna like wipe it all away. Or that I would just like cry and it would just like, you know, not cry, but like that my eyes would water and it would just kind of get washed away and wiped away by her, like going through my brows repeatedly and wiping them. So I knew that it probably wasn't a good idea to wear any eye makeup. So yeah, it felt like someone was just scratching a needle into my skin. I mean, that's the best way to describe it. Is it irritating? Yes. Is it painful? I mean, I felt quite a bit of it, honestly. I don't think that the numbing cream really took on me, or that it didn't last very long, but it was fine. Like, I never once had to be like, ugh, can you please stop? We need a break. Like, I was just keep going, finish it up. So she went through several passes, making the individual hair strokes. I told her that I wanted a slightly like feathered natural look. And so she did that. She did several passes on both brows, had me look at them. I, you know, requested a few more strokes in certain areas and she happily did those. And then when we were all said and done, you know, I think she put some ointment on and said, just keep that on there. Now, because my skin is very oily, she wanted me to do the dry healing method. This is going to vary based on your technician as well as the products that they use and your skin type. So all these things have to be configured to what your face is likely going to do. I have really oily skin, so I don't need extra hydration in that area. She said it would probably heal better and the pigment would last longer if I just, you know, didn't put any oils on there. She said typically for her clients who have drier skin, she does recommend just using some grapeseed oil on a Q-tip and running that through there. But with me, she said avoid that, just let them, you know, crust over. Naturally, obviously don't pick at them, don't get them wet. Taking a shower this morning was a little bit trickier than normal, but it wasn't impossible. I just put my head way back. I also held a towel, a dry, clean towel, over my forehead when I was rinsing so that the water wasn't splashing on my brows. But she did say if you happen to get some water on there, just make sure you dab it off right away. Like, it's not good. What you don't want is your brows soaking in water. So that means obviously no swimming, no hot tubs, no working out or exercise where you're going to get overly sweaty. You know, try to keep the area around it very clean. Just the usual stuff. I feel like a lot of this stuff is common sense. If you've had tattoos, you kind of know how to take care of those. This is very similar. You just want to keep the area clean. You don't want to pick at the scabs. It can get itchy. Right now, I'm not in that itchy stage. I'm in the very dark second day stage. I woke up this morning and I looked in the mirror and thought, whoa, whoa. But I was fully aware. She said, you're gonna wake up tomorrow and you're probably gonna think, what did I do? This will fade. So if you are thinking these look crazy, it is because they are brand new. They're going to get darker for the next day or two, and then they are going to scab over. and the color will fade significantly by like half. So it's gonna look very natural by the time that all of these scabs fall off. I do have my touch-up appointment the week of Thanksgiving. I believe it's actually the day before Thanksgiving. So that worked out really well for my schedule because I'm gonna be heading up to my parents. I'm not gonna be going to the gym during that time anyway. Really the toughest part for me right now is that I can't go to the gym for the next few days. I'm going to probably start going again next Tuesday or Wednesday, but I'm not going to be doing cardio for the next 2 weeks. Cardio is what makes me sweat. When I weight train, I actually don't sweat, and my body heat doesn't really I don't get terribly hot when I'm lifting. And I kind of recognize when my body does start to heat up, so I can just kind of let off at that point. I don't want to take too much time off from the gym because I just feel like I'm in a really good groove with it, but I also don't want to compromise my end results. So I'm going to be very careful. If I do find that I'm starting to get sweaty in any kind of way, I'm just going to back off and just call it a day at that point. I feel like I'm aware enough of my body to know when I'm pushing it too far, if that makes sense. So on day 2, I guess this is, I'm very pleased. I'm very happy that I did it. We'll see how it lasts. I mean, this will be a really good experiment to share with you guys because I have a very specific skin type, and I have definitely researched this extensively before committing to it because it was a financial commitment. I paid for this. This wasn't free. I paid for it. But it's a financial commitment, and I wanted to see if my particular skin type would actually hold the pigment. I do expect the crisp lines that she put in to sort of blow out a little bit, only because of the oiliness. One thing you also want to know, if you decide to do this, you need to be very careful with all of your lactic acids, your retinols, your glycolic acids, any type of acids. You want to avoid getting those into your brows because you're going to make the brows fade, or the microblading fade, a lot faster if you do that. So I normally have in the past slapped everything all over my face. Not slapped, gently applied, but you know, I've put everything all over my face, and my cat wants to jump up here. So I'm gonna have to be very careful going forward to not do that, which, you know, that's a minor inconvenience. I can deal with that. But overall, when I look in the mirror, I really feel like I have brows that suit the overall size of my face. They are very dark right now. They're not gonna stay this way. I definitely, you know, when I posted pictures on Instagram, there were a couple of people that were like, whoa, those are, they're a lot darker, but they're brand new. So, and I'm totally okay with them. I did already notice this morning that there are a few areas that are kind of starting to get a little bit crunchy, if that makes sense. So I think I'm gonna heal pretty quickly, which is exciting because I definitely want to get the healing process over with. But I do know that it can take up to 2 weeks. So anyway, I just thought I'd go ahead and share this with you guys so you can kind of follow along on the journey. Let me know if you have any questions that I may not have answered. I feel like it was a pretty straightforward procedure. Like I said, if pain is your biggest concern, I didn't think it was overly painful, but if you are a total weenie when it comes to pain, I probably wouldn't do this. I mean, I don't know. I think that there are some things that, you know, if you really want them, you're gonna have to kind of put up with some inconvenience or pain type factor. But for me, it was well worth it, and I left and I went to work with my husband immediately after, and I was fine. You know, it was a little bit oozy and gross looking, but it was fine. It's totally not a big deal. So, by the way, I'm petting my cat. She had to be in the video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this was helpful. Please subscribe if you're new, and I will probably do another update after I get them touched up to be able to share with you guys. So yeah, I will update you guys then. Let me know again if you have any questions in the meantime. Take care. Bye.